Today I'll be showing you how I analyze a chart. We are currently looking at the Amazon daily chart. There are three key factors that I use when analyzing a chart. They are range, points of interest, and supply and demand zones. I will preface this by saying it's not financial advice. These are simply the basics of how I perceive a chart and does not guarantee any outcome. To start, let's narrow down what we are looking at. We can simply look for the current year range to begin. From January 2024 till present day. From this we can see a few things, such as year-to-date high, year-to-date low, and the middle of that range. We can narrow down this further to analyze shorter time frame ranges as well. Let's take a look at the first range created within the first half of the year. We can now see that we broke high from a period of accumulation and put in this first high, before pulling back to the area of accumulation, which acted as support. There was one day that broke below that area of accumulation. We can consider that to be a day where Amazon was undervalued and quickly bought back up into the new range. The highs of the range are known as supply zones, as there is more selling and less buying happening, while the lows of the range are known as demand zones, as there is a lot of buying taking place and a lot of demand for the underlying. We observe something distinct happening around the $200 price range. With no daily candles closing above it, there has not been any attempt to create support at or above 200. This is another supply zone. As you can see, we had spent a few days pushed up against this level as opposed to touching and reversing. This is known as a sell wall, which is a special kind of supply zone. We can see the buyers weakening and selling continued back down into the area of our previous range. However, a market anomaly unrelated to Amazon occurred around this time, and that created a massive sell-off, notably filling a gap that was created earlier in the year, as well as price crossing below the middle line of the current year range, making the stock undervalued in a bull cycle. Finally, let's take a look at the most recent range created, right before Amazon's last earnings on October 31st, 2024. We can now easily spot the established high and low of the range, as well as the middle of the range. Above and below the range we can consider to be supply and demand zones again. Even with a massive earnings beat and gapping above the range, we can see that Amazon opened the next trading day in the supply zone, right near the $200 sell wall. We will zoom in on the 5-minute to have a better look. October 31st is range. Amazon announces earnings, opening the next trading day in the supply zone. There's the $200 sell wall. And as you can see, without being able to close a single 5-minute candle above that 200 sell wall in pre-market or open trading session, Amazon had declined in price well into after hours. Let's go over what we do know now. We know that Amazon is still unable to close above $200. We know we are in a supply zone. We do not know if the stock will go up, down, or sideways from here. We will watch for consolidation. we will watch for a return to the lower 50% of the previous range, or for Amazon to break higher and define a new range, creating support above the $200 sell wall.